Conan the Barbarian, a sword and sorcery hero who originated in pulp magazines and has been adapted to books, comic books, movies, TV, and games, is the subject of this video, to show what Conan looks like and the sort of adventures that he gets involved in. A chronological series of Marvel Comics Conan the Barbarian comic book series are presented, from issue number 1 in 1970 to issue number 125 in 1981. In 1982, there was a Conan the Barbarian movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there were more movies about Conan after this. In the near future, do you want a new movie or a new TV show created about Conan? If so, what actor or actors would you like to have play the role of Conan? Conan was created by Robert E. Howard, who also created Almuric, Kull, and other characters. Robert E. Howard was an American writer who lived from 1906 to 1936. Howard is regarded as the father of the sword and sorcery subgenre. The earliest appearance of a Howard character named Conan was that of a black-haired barbarian with heroic attributes in the 1931 short story People of the Dark. By 1932, Howard had officially conceptualized Conan, and in his lifetime wrote 21 stories starring the barbarian, many for Weird Tales pulp magazine. Over the years, many other writers have written works featuring Conan. Howard created Conan in a series of fantasy stories published in Weird Tales from 1932. Howard was searching for a new character to market to the burgeoning pulp outlets of the early 1930s. In October 1931, he submitted the short story People of the Dark to Clayton Publications' new magazine, Strange Tales of Mystery and Terror. People of the Dark is a story about the remembrance of past lives, and in its first-person narrative, the protagonist describes one of his previous incarnations. Conan is a black-haired barbarian hero who swears by a deity called Crom. Some Howard scholars believe this Conan to be a forerunner of the more famous character. Later, Howard rewrote a rejected story, By This Axe I Rule, replacing his existing character, Kull of Atlantis, with his new hero and retitling it The Phoenix on the Sword, which was first published in Weird Tales magazine in December 1932. Many Conan stories involve him in heroic adventures filled with princesses and wizards. The setting is in a mythical Hyborian age, set in the times after the fall of Atlantis and before any known ancient civilization. Conan has a penchant for saving damsels in distress, a humorous nature, and enduring loyalty. Conan's main abilities are strength, combativeness, intelligence, agility, and endurance. Conan is a Cimmerian and was born on a battlefield and is the son of a village blacksmith. Conan matured quickly as a youth, and by age 15 he was already a respected warrior who had participated in the destruction of the Aquilonian fortress of Venarium. After its demise, Conan was struck by wanderlust and began the adventures chronicled by Howard, encountering skulking monsters, evil wizards, and beautiful princesses. Conan roamed throughout the Hyborian Age nations as a thief, outlaw, mercenary, and pirate. As Conan grew older, he began commanding vast units of warriors and escalating his ambitions. In his 40s, Conan seized the crown from the tyrannical king of Aquilonia, the most powerful kingdom of the Hyborian Age, having strangled the previous ruler on the steps of his own throne. Conan's adventures often result in him performing heroic feats, though his motivation for doing so is largely to protect his own survival or for personal gain. Starting in the 1960s, a series of Conan paperback books were published, 8 of which had phenomenal artist Frank Frazetta covers that set the look of Conan from that point on, including the comic book covers featured in this video. The comic book covers in this video were from the first licensed comic book adaptation of Conan. They debuted with the first issue cover dated October 1970 and ran for 275 issues until 1993. Roy Thomas, Marvel's associate editor at that time, had obtained the licensed property after finding Conan chief among readers' requests for literary properties to be adapted to comics. Initially, It was not anticipated that Conan would be affordable, but it turned out that it was. Due to budget constraints, Roy Thomas did not initially get his first choice to do the art, John Buscema. Instead, he got Barry Windsor Smith. Marvel initially published Conan every 2 months. After sales of issue number 1 were strong, Marvel quickly made the title monthly, but sales dropped with each additional issue. Stan Lee decided to cancel the comic with issue number 7, not only because of weak sales, but also to use Barry Windsor Smith on more popular comics. Roy Thomas argued against that decision, and Stan Lee relented, although the comic became bi-monthly again with issue number 14. By issue number 20, Conan became monthly because of rising sales, and the comic became one of Marvel's most popular in the 1970s. More Conan videos can be viewed at the Comic Excitement Convention Conan the Barbarian playlist. For information about the video, see the video description section. Please like and subscribe.